Hi. Today, we're spilling some more tea. Maybe I should go sit somewhere else. I don't know if this is better. I feel like no matter where I sit in our yard, I feel spied on. It's like kind of creepy. So today we're filming How Not to Date Your Crush Part 2. The thing is, like, I want to be done with it and I don't want to talk about it anymore. The stories are just too juicy to like not share with anyone. It's just fun for me to film these videos, so I'm just gonna do it anyway, even though they have like zero meaning. Part of me is also scared that he's gonna see this someday and like see all the little creepy things that I was thinking and doing. There's like one thing in particular that like would make such a good story, such a good video, but like I kind of don't want to confess to it yet because like it's kind of also illegal. It's not super illegal. It's a little illegal. I feel really bad. In this case, it was by accident. Well, it wasn't an accident. It was just like, it just happened. It's not like I thought about it and made it happen. It just happened. I just took it and accepted it because it was kind of convenient. Anyway, that's for another story. As you guys may know, I live in Switzerland. I went to school in Switzerland. I don't know, the school system in Switzerland is so weird. We have 26 different cantons, and in each canton, the school system is different, and Switzerland's already so tiny, so like, it's confusing. Let's not talk about that. So basically, when you're in 11th slash, I can never say slash, I'm always like fluff. When you are in 11th slash 12th grade, you have to work on this big project where you have to write 30 pages, you have to do the actual project, and then in the end you have to give a presentation about it, and you get graded on it. Part of it decides whether you pass high school and get to go move on to college and university or not. It's kind of a big deal, and you work on it for like over a year. And basically this plays in the last end state of my project when I had to present it. So the audience you're presenting this project to is always two teachers because they have to grade you, and then the only other way to get into one of these presentations is you were invited personally by the person giving the presentation. For me, my brother and my mom came to watch me. I don't know, it was kind of fun. So you're giving the presentation when you're in 12th grade, and the 11th graders get to come watch. 4 people get to sign up. There's this big list, and then you get to sign up to all the presentations you want to see, and then when you're doing it yourself a year later, you can kind of have an idea of what's gonna go down. Those are like the only people around when you're giving these presentations, and those are the only ways to get in. Here's the thing. The thing I did. I was so obsessed with my crush that I wanted to see him all the time. I kind of implemented myself into his life so that way it would kind of like forcefully happen sometime. I don't know. I was insane. I'm still insane. Whatever. It's always fun for the 12th graders to go look at these lists where the 11th graders are signing up, and some people's projects will be really, really interesting, and like the lists will be like filled out, and other people, you know, nobody signs up. But for me, I was a little disappointed, but only 2 people signed up to come see me. I was like, what the heck? I do good projects. Why does nobody want to come see mine? Only one of them ended up showing up. That hurt a little because I was excited to have 2 people come to my little project. The one girl that did come though, she was super sweet. But still, I'm still hurt by that one person who didn't show up, who ditched me for another project. Okay, so it turns out the project this girl ditched me for to go see, my crush was also going to see. So like, coincidence? I think not.
Coincidence? I think not.
Just saying. I happened to notice what my crush signed up for, and one of the projects he signed up for was for this guy that I was friends with that was in my class. So I was like, ooh, wouldn't it be fun to just like show up there and be like, oh, I was coming to watch too. You're here too? Like, wow, like mind blown, what a coincidence. That's the vibe I was going for. Looking back, that was very cringy, but at the time I felt like a freaking genius. Look who wants to say hi. You have grass all over you now. You know that? Here's what happened. So this friend my crush signed up for to see was pretty convenient for me. We'll call him Simon. We're friends, but we're not like best friends. What was convenient for me is his personality. He's one of those people, he's like very, very open, talks about everything. He's kind of egotistical, kind of self-absorbed too. My problem when I talk to him is that he just constantly talks about himself and I'm just listening and just nodding my head. And as soon as I try to get something in, I maybe get in, maybe at the most I get in a sentence, and then it switches right back to him and it's all about him. He's still nice, so whatever. I went up to Simon and I was just like, hey Simon, what's up, bestie? Kind of sucked up to him a little bit. I actually had a small, extremely small role in his project, so I used that to my advantage too. I was just like, so Simon, you know, I helped you that one time. I was there. I'd love to see your project. I'm sure it's awesome. Like, you worked so hard. So proud of you. So bad. Let him hear all the little magical words he wanted to hear. He would be like, you should come see my presentation. Like, I could invite you. Like, you could come see it. And I was like, you would do that for me? Really? You're such a kind person. I'm so bad. I am so bad. So I was just like shocked. I was like, you'd invite me? Like, that's so nice of you. Like, I couldn't impose, you know, like, it's your project. Your parents are coming. Like, I don't want to mess that up for you. And he's like, no, really, you should come. I want you to come. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, if you're begging me, I'll show up. So that's like the backstory. Now comes the day of the presentation. Most people have to give their presentation on the same day. The whole school shuts down. Everybody is off except for the 11th and 12th graders. The thing is, my friend Simon's presentation, like, it ends 5 minutes before mine starts, and you're supposed to be at your presentation at least like a half an hour before setup already. So what I did is I showed up 2 hours earlier than my presentation was gonna be. I set everything up in my room because the room that I was assigned to, thank freaking God, I was the only person using that room the entire day, so I knew I wasn't gonna interrupt anybody else's presentation. I had to play a video, sound wasn't working, it was just a big mess, and I needed a certain adapter cable that I didn't have. I happened to run to this teacher. To this day I don't know his name, but he was such a sweetheart and I feel so freaking bad for him. 3 separate incidents, so I kept going back and I was like, can you help me again? So I finally had my stuff set up, time to go to Simon's presentation. Oh, and the other convenient thing was Simon happened to have this adapter cable that I needed on him. So I was like, can I have that once you're done with it? And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I go over to his presentation. That's where I like officially met his parents. I sucked up to the parents too, I'm so bad. I saw them wandering around the hall and I was just like, how convenient. So I went over to them and I'm like, oh, hi. Like, are you guys the parents of Simon? Even though I knew they were the parents of Simon. And they were just like, yeah, that's us. They were kind of confused because they were just like, who are you? And I was just being the sweetest person I could be. And I was just like, oh, well, like, his presentation is right over there. I'm gonna go see it too because we're like besties. They're probably so confused. They're like, you're not his best friend and we freaking know it. You're very right, but we're just gonna pretend that that is true in this moment. So I like show up to Simon's presentation with his parents. Best impression ever. Yeah, everybody said hi. I was kind of nervous for the encounter with my crush. My natural thing to do is to always be super busy, so that way, oh, like, I didn't see you. I didn't even have time to say hi. Like, I was just so busy. So I was just constantly talking to Simon's parents. I was talking to Simon. I was talking to the teacher grading. I was literally like being the most social person in the entire world. So when he came in, I really didn't see him. He and his friend sat down in the front row, so I sat exactly behind them. Happened to be my seat that I had in that class anyway, so I felt comfortable taking it. And the thing is, there's this funny chair. All the chairs in our school have like a little bit of pressure in them, so they're like a little bit bouncy. This one particular chair that I always had in geography was super bouncy. I think there wasn't enough pressure in it. And I always thought it was super fun. Like, it was originally at my friend's spot who was sitting next to me and she hated that freaking chair, so I always took it off her hands because I always thought it was kind of fun to just bounce around a little bit. I don't know. And my crush, who was sitting exactly in front of me, happened to have that chair. How did I know that? I don't know. I pay way too close attention to things to the point where it gets creepy, and I don't do it on purpose, which is the weirdest thing. It just happens. I don't know. So like I said, I sat down. We kind of made eye contact. I was just like, I gave him a head nod. I do that a lot. I just give people a head nod. I don't know. I don't want to make it too obvious. So I was just like, hey, you know, what's up? And he was just like, hi. This presentation was going on and on. Like I said, my friend Simon loves to talk, and I happened to forget that. His presentation was longer than intended, and mine was 5 minutes after his ended, or was supposed to end. Every single minute of this presentation, I was freaking out. So during this presentation, he's always like playing around with this chair, and he had the bouncy chair. I swear, at least like 5 times, I thought I was gonna have to catch him. I guess he didn't realize how bouncy the chair was, and he always like leaned back, and like sometimes too many times, and he had to like catch himself. Like, I jumped up a couple times during this presentation because I was always like, I'm ready. And then the pressure on top of that my presentation was gonna start in like a couple of minutes. I looked through the window out of the building and then through another window into the building again. I saw my mom and my brother standing there, and I still had to pick them up to go to my presentation. So that was gonna take even longer. I was freaking out. In the meantime, I'm trying to save this kid's life because he keeps tilting back way too much and he's gonna smack his head on the ground and die. So all these things combined were just not good for my nerves. I didn't even pay that close attention to Simon's presentation. I mean, granted, I didn't go there in the first place to watch the presentation. I was a little distracted, yeah. Thank God he stopped at the right moment, and it like just gave me enough time to like sneak into my own presentation. Like, it literally just worked out. The funny thing was, Simon wrapped up his presentation. I was already standing next to him. Hi, give me the adapter thingy. Everybody's still sitting, just like, hello, quick intermission, take 5. We have snacks outside. It was just really awkward. I grabbed the adapter. My crush and his friend were already halfway walking out the door. Dashed out of that room so freaking fast because I was so nervous. Ran my crush to the ground, and I didn't even turn around to say goodbye or anything or sorry. I just ran off, even though running in school is illegal. Thank God there was no teacher there. Holding this adapter thingy, I'm running to the other side of the building. I finally pick up my mom and my brother. They're running with me back to my room to give my freaking presentation. It was such a mess. The teachers that were supposed to come fam weren't there yet, nobody was there yet, but literally like a minute after I got there and was like officially ready, they all started showing up. So it literally just worked out, and I'm so glad that it did. It was just a very dumb decision of mine because I should have prioritized my own presentation over going to somebody else's presentation I didn't even care about to see my crush from behind. It was so dumb. My presentation was genius. I passed. I got a good grade. I was really happy with it. That's the end of the story here. So thanks for tuning in to How Not to Date Your Crush Part 2. Maybe you can learn from it. Maybe you can't. I don't know. So for anyone who was involved in the story and is watching this, I really hope you're not. But if you did, I just want to say I'm sorry. I know it was wrong. It's kind of cringy. I don't like it either looking back at it now, but that's just how it is. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye!